16.66 gigs of evil other mark of the mystery. Unfindable files on my cell phone that clog everything up. This is what it says the temperature is outside my tent. And this is what my cell phone says it is inside my tent. So, it's a Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. It's the middle of the day. The roads are smooth and clear. And cars moving along at 15 miles an hour in the other lane are freaked out that I'm in the road at all. And there is almost all the businesses are shut down. And yet the roads aren't bad. They're not bad at all. If these guys had studs on their tires or chains, this would be a breeze. There isn't enough snow out here to shut down anything. And these cats are all just froze up. Business ground to a halt. Now I can totally understand, certain things like road repair and the bridge work and all of that kind of stuff being shut down, construction and stuff. But even that, man, there's a whole nother way to look at our world. Okay, so I've been working on some ideas for videos, but I'm getting hampered because my little Android phone is like, I'm filling up with stuff and you can't run your stuff. So I go on to the little app that tells you what everything is. And it's got this giant category called Other. Just uncategorizable buck. And I figured out what's going on. See, Android is more along the lines of open source kinds of stuff, but it's got a lot of proprietary mixed in. But it comes from that kind of cultural background. And almost anybody can make an app. But the thing is that there isn't as much in the way of standards and practices when it comes to where they file their little whatevers that they need to do to process while they're running stuff on your Android phone for their little app that they designed. Because one app designer isn't necessarily talking to another app designer and saying, okay, we need to have an international standard for where stuff goes. And so what happens is all those kinds of things get dropped into the other file. And what the other file really is, as far as I can tell, is a little bit of everything that gets landed all over your system. It's like mud splatter. It isn't in any particular one spot. And then there's the fact that every time you go to look for patches for stuff online, like on YouTube and stuff, they're always talking about some other version of Android, right? It's a different model of phone, or it's a different carrier, and a different carrier uses a different baseline of software on the given component, right? Type of mechanical phone. And so what you get is this hodgepodge mess. Like apparently they took out the trash can. There used to be a trash can. There's no longer a trash can on my particular phone. Or there never was. On some other guy's phone, there's a trash can, and you can find the trash can. And when you find the trash can, you can empty the trash can. Unless there's no trash can. Then you get tired of dealing with your phone and you go buy a different phone. That might be part of the motivation, but I can't be sure. So it's unfair to create some sort of, it's your fault kind of video. Although it's tempting. So file management is a fiasco a little bit on these, but I'm working on it and I'm finding some really obscure stuff. Even after you delete an app, there's kind of like leftovers left behind. Like an ex-roommate leaves and 6 months later you find some box of their crap and you're like, was this Joe or was this Bob from last summer? I don't know. It's stuff. And you go through and you go, oh, okay, I know what this is now. And you look it all up and then you find stuff that's, you're like, this is some obscure IBM standard file format thing and you don't know what it is. You can't open it. You can't figure out what it is. You're kind of afraid to delete it, but it is down layers and layers of files. And that's another thing I discovered. And here's a trick. You want to find some obscure stuff on your phone. You open up the file folders, and if it says that there's a folder in that folder, you open it up. What'll happen is on the top folder, it'll say 1 folder, 0 files. But it can't see into the next folder. So you open up the top folder and you find the secondary folder, and the secondary folder says 1 folder, no files. You keep doing that until you find out that there's either an empty folder at the bottom, or you'll find a folder that says 1 file. Or it'll say 2 folders, 1 file. You open up that folder and you'll find 2 folders and you'll find a file. But the next couple of folders might say folders in them. The computer cannot see past 1 folder. So if you want to bury something, or you need to bury something, and there's different motivations for that, possible, and ones that I can't see perhaps. One is that people delete stupid stuff, get all mad because they deleted something and bitch at the company and say, I want blah, 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 blah. So app designers and whoever that don't want to deal with people bitching because they deleted their own stuff that made everything go wonk wire, they build stuff that is nested like Russian wooden dolls, one inside the other. 6 layers down, you find some obscure little program file that is important for some little whatever. But this is also the possibility that hackers may bury stuff in your phone, and if they don't want it to be found, they bury it under multiple file folders in some obscure space. So this is what I've been working on instead of making 2B2T videos or space videos, or how is it I live so comfortably in freezing weather like this, okay, that I can be happy like this. God bless, Godspeed, aim for the stars, land on the moon. I'll be sending out new videos soon, but I got to figure out how to get rid of that massive other that's like, I'll show a screenshot of it. It is stupid. Okay, I'll catch you later.